Walk through a brand new motorhome today, and everything feels impressive. The lighting is perfect, the screens are enormous, the furniture looks expensive, and with the slide-outs open, it can feel more like an apartment than an RV. But then you start looking behind the beautiful surfaces. Thin materials, complicated electronics, long roof seams, multiple slide-outs, and dozens of small components that may eventually become expensive problems. Meanwhile, some small motorhomes built 10, 20, or even 30 years ago are still traveling across America. Not because their owners got lucky, but because these coaches were designed during a time when durability mattered more than impressing someone during a 15-minute dealership tour. Today we're looking at 7 small motorhomes that were built differently. Some used molded fiberglass shells, others used aluminum roofs, steel reinforcement, and simple floor plans without unnecessary moving parts. And the motorhome at number 1 may be the closest thing the RV industry ever produced to a small rolling tank. But before buying any older RV, remember this: a great design cannot protect a motorhome from decades of neglect. Condition, maintenance, and a professional inspection still matter more than the name on the side. With that said, let's begin. At first glance, the Phoenix Cruiser 2350 does not look revolutionary. It is compact, relatively low, and far less dramatic than many modern Class C motorhomes. But that is exactly why it works. The 2350 was created for people who wanted a real bathroom, permanent sleeping space, a usable kitchen, and enough storage for extended travel without driving something that felt like a bus. Underneath that practical layout is a construction method that many buyers never notice. Phoenix Cruiser uses a one-piece fiberglass roof, molded fiberglass caps, vacuum-bonded walls, and a heavily structured floor. That does not make the coach indestructible. Roof vents, windows, slide-outs, and other openings still need regular inspection. But beginning with a large, continuous fiberglass roof removes some of the vulnerable seams found on more conventional motorhomes. The 2350 also represents something the modern RV market sometimes forgets. A motorhome does not need to become enormous to become comfortable. Its smaller body places less stress on the chassis, makes ordinary campgrounds easier to navigate, and gives the owner fewer square feet of RV to maintain. A neglected Phoenix Cruiser can still become a nightmare, but a carefully maintained example shows how much durability can come from simply controlling size and complexity. The Unity proves that strong construction does not have to look old-fashioned. Even earlier versions of this motorhome have a clean, modern appearance, but beneath that appearance is a carefully engineered structure. The walls were vacuum bonded, insulated, and framed with aluminum. The roof used a domed aluminum frame with a fiberglass exterior, and the floor was built around a steel-framed, insulated structure. In other words, the Unity was not designed as a decorative box placed on a van chassis. It was designed as a complete motorhome. That difference becomes noticeable when you step inside an older example. Cabinet doors often still align correctly. The interior feels controlled rather than improvised, and the entire coach feels as though every inch was planned before construction began. That planning was necessary because the Unity had to provide the comfort of a larger Class C inside a body approximately 25 feet long. Some layouts used twin beds, others used Murphy beds, corner beds, or more flexible living areas. But the real advantage was not one particular floor plan, it was the discipline behind the design. Of course, the Unity is not mechanically simple. Its Mercedes-Benz Sprinter chassis, emissions equipment, appliances, and electronic systems can all become expensive as they age. This is not a motorhome to buy without service records and a thorough inspection. But when comparing the house construction of a carefully maintained older Unity with many newer mass-produced coaches, the older RV does not automatically feel like the compromise.
Sometimes it feels like the more carefully built machine.
The Toyota Sunraider looks almost impossible today. It is tiny, it is narrow, and some versions are shorter than modern pickup trucks with large trailers attached behind them. Yet, inside that small fiberglass body, owners had a kitchen, a place to sleep, a dinette, storage, and depending on the model, a bathroom. The Sunraider's greatest advantage was its molded fiberglass coach body. Instead of constructing the exterior from several large flat walls connected at vulnerable corners, the fiberglass sections were joined to create a solid shell. That shell gave the Sunraider its unmistakable rounded appearance. It also reduced the number of structural seams exposed to wind, movement, and rain. Decades later, many surviving Sunraiders are being restored rather than discarded. Owners remove the old interiors, repair the fiberglass, update the electrical system, and create a modern camper inside a body built during the 1980s. That says something important. When the basic shell is worth preserving, the rest of the motorhome can be rebuilt around it. But there is a serious warning here. Certain early Toyota-based motorhomes were associated with overloaded or inadequate rear axle configurations. Anyone considering one must verify that the appropriate full-floating rear axle is present where required. And because these RVs are now several decades old, buyers must inspect the frame, brakes, suspension, fuel system, plumbing, electrical wiring, and fiberglass carefully. The Sunraider is not valuable because it is old. It is valuable because its original designers gave restorers something strong enough to save. And if you prefer motorhomes that still make sense after the dealership shine disappears, subscribe to Van Life Insider. We look beyond the brochures to find the RVs that owners actually trust. In 1971, Chinook introduced something that would change the company's identity for decades: a one-piece, all-fiberglass motorhome shell. That construction philosophy eventually produced motorhomes such as the Chinook Premier and the more luxurious Chinook Concourse. From a distance, the Concourse can look more like an oversized conversion van than a traditional motorhome. But unlike a normal camper van, the living area was built as a dedicated fiberglass coach. The result was a compact motorhome with fewer exterior joints, a relatively low profile, and a body that did not depend on a collection of flat walls meeting at every corner. There was also a simplicity to the Concourse that becomes more appealing as it ages. No enormous wall slide, no residential refrigerator controlled by a complex touchscreen, no attempt to create 3 separate rooms inside a small vehicle. Instead, the Concourse offered a carefully organized living space designed for 1 or 2 travelers. Everything had a purpose. The bed became seating. Storage filled the unused corners, the kitchen remained compact, and the body stayed small enough to feel manageable. That simplicity does not eliminate age-related problems. Old sealant fails, fiberglass can crack, appliances become obsolete, wiring may have been modified by previous owners, and some chassis parts can require patience to locate. But the foundation remains unusually strong. The Chinook Concourse was not designed to look enormous at an RV show. It was designed to place a complete home inside a durable shell that could move through the world like a large van. That is why many of them still have owners willing to restore them. Most motorhomes are assembled from separate wall, roof, front, and rear sections. Coach House took another approach. Its Platinum models use a patented one-piece fiberglass body, eliminating many of the major structural seams normally found around an RV's exterior. That does not mean a coach house can never leak. Windows, vents, air conditioners, access doors, and other openings still penetrate the shell. But it means the basic body does not depend on the same collection of large corner joints found on conventional box-shaped motorhomes. Imagine taking a normal RV body and removing some of the places where movement and water can eventually create trouble. That is the idea behind the Platinum. The smooth fiberglass shell also contributes to the motorhome's quiet, solid feeling on the road. Instead of sounding like furniture traveling inside a delivery truck, a well-maintained coach house can feel more like one complete structure. Inside, the company focuses on smaller Class B+ floor plans rather than enormous residential layouts. You still get a real kitchen, bathroom, sleeping space, storage, heating, air conditioning, and the systems required for extended travel. But everything is contained inside a footprint that remains realistic for 2 people. The downside is price. Coach house motorhomes were never intended to be the cheapest option. Even older examples can command serious money because buyers understand what the body construction represents. And the fiberglass shell cannot protect you from a neglected chassis, damaged plumbing, aging appliances, or years of poor repairs. But when the goal is finding a small motorhome whose basic structure was designed for longevity, the Coach House Platinum belongs near the top of the list. From the outside, the Born Free 24RB looks like a traditional Class C motorhome. There is a fiberglass body, a cab over section, and a familiar Ford chassis underneath. But hidden inside the coach structure is the detail that made Born Free different. Steel tubular roll bars were integrated into the motorhome's upper structure. Born Free was not only thinking about how the coach would look at a campground, the company was thinking about what might happen when something went terribly wrong on the highway. That safety-focused structure was combined with a molded fiberglass exterior, carefully finished interiors, and compact floor plans designed for real travel. The 24RB placed a full bathroom across the rear of the coach, leaving the center area for the kitchen and living space. It was not enormous, it did not need to be. The design gave 1 or 2 people the essentials of a much larger motorhome without the same length, weight, or complexity. What makes the Born Free especially compelling today is that the construction was not based on one single trick. The fiberglass body mattered, the steel reinforcement mattered, the cabinetry and interior fit mattered, and the decision to build a smaller number of carefully finished coaches mattered. But Born Free is also a reminder that reputation should never replace inspection. The exterior can hide moisture damage, the chassis can have deferred maintenance, fiberglass can age, and even beautifully built cabinetry may conceal old plumbing or wiring problems. A neglected Born Free is still a neglected motorhome, but a properly maintained one reveals a different set of priorities. Instead of asking how large the motorhome could become, Born Free asked how strong and complete a small motorhome could be.
The number 1 motorhome on this list was not built to follow trends. It was built according to a stubborn philosophy. Keep the layout practical, keep the structure repairable, avoid unnecessary complexity, and use materials that can survive years of sun, rain, movement, and real travel. That motorhome is the Lazy Days. While much of the RV industry moved toward fiberglass exterior panels and membrane roofs, Lazy Days used smooth aircraft-style aluminum body panels and a one-piece painted aluminum roof. The individual exterior panels could be replaced if damaged. The painted aluminum roof resisted ultraviolet exposure without depending on a rubber membrane stretched across the top of the coach. And the exterior received durable polyurethane paint rather than relying on unfinished fiberglass to maintain its appearance. This is why a decades-old Lazy Days can still look strangely current. The shape is simple, the paint is clean, and the motorhome does not look as though it was designed around a temporary fashion. Inside, the layouts were equally disciplined. Large windows created a bright living area, Opposing couches could provide a comfortable lounge without requiring a slide-out. The kitchen remained usable. Storage was placed where travelers actually needed it. Nothing inside was trying to imitate a luxury apartment. It was trying to make life on the road comfortable. And that difference matters. Every moving room, powered mechanism, decorative panel, and electronic feature added to a motorhome creates another possible failure point. Lazy days did not eliminate maintenance. No motorhome can do that. Roof penetration still needs sealant. Aluminum bodies require inspection. Chassis components wear out. Appliances fail. And decades of careless ownership can destroy even the best coach. But Lazy Days gave owners a remarkably strong starting point. It may not have the largest television, it may not have the most dramatic interior, and it may not attract the biggest crowd at an RV show. But 20 years after the showroom lights disappear, those things stop mattering. What matters is whether the roof stayed intact, whether the walls remained solid, whether the interior survived thousands of miles, and whether the owner still trusts the motorhome enough to leave home again. That is why the Lazy Days takes the #1 position. It was not merely built to be sold. It was built to be used.
None of these motorhomes proves that old is always better than new. There are excellent new RVs being built today, just as there were poorly built RVs decades ago. But these 7 coaches show what happens when manufacturers prioritize structure, simplicity, repairability, and long-term ownership. Before buying one, arrange a professional RV inspection and a separate chassis inspection. Check for moisture. Inspect every roof penetration. Test the plumbing, electrical system, generator, appliances, brakes, tires, suspension, and safety equipment. Because the best motorhome is not the one with the strongest reputation. It is the one whose previous owners protected what the factory originally built. Which of these 7 would you trust for a cross-country trip? And is there another small motorhome that deserves to be on this list? Tell us in the comments. Then watch our video, Top 7 Small Motorhomes You Can Actually Live In. It is on your screen now.